Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, from Eric Lima Shenanigans of 1977, it's Thursday, and you know what that means. It's time for the TNA Event Center report. And now here's the man to give you all the total non-stop action and impactful report, Mr. Eric M. Lima. Thank you very much, Mr. Announcer, sir. Well, hello there, everyone. Welcome to yet another episode of Eric Lima Shenanigans of 1977. Episode 2110, 2110. Ladies and gentlemen, it's still March 20th, 2025, 10:27 p.m. This is my final video for tonight until tomorrow. And as you know, we're heading down halfway. In fact, we got one more full week of March left until we hit up April. That's for sure. I'm totally excited about... I'm totally excited about this. TNA is the fallout from Sacrifice, as you know, and if you've heard my topic on Rant and Rave, which is good, finished Rant and Rave a few short minutes ago, I talked about punchable faces in professional wrestling. I found two more. I'll explain when I get to it. To kick off the Sacrifice fallout from TNA, the still reigning and defending TNA Knockouts champion Monster Slamovich just came back from a successful title defense, addressing the El Paso crowd. Says, "We don't know. I don't know what's next for me, next challenger, but I'm looking forward to the next challenge." Tessa Blanchard comes out and says that she's going to get back what's rightfully hers. That's the TNA Knockouts title. And then, as Monster Slamovich says, "You want to take back what's yours? Come and take it." And she was continuing to talk smack to Tessa Blanchard until she got blindsided by another NXT lady. That's right, JC Jane was the one that from Fatal Influence that blindsided Monster Slamovich and started beating up on Monster Slamovich. And Santino Marella decided to make a matchup. And for next week, it'll be JC Jane going one-on-one with Monster Slamovich. Then the Rascals took on the Northern Armory, and the Rascals ended up picking up the victory in that matchup. But Eric Young was about to jump on an apron and get the Northern Armory to round up until Ace Austin decided to even things up with a steel chair and all. Gia Miller interviewed Xia Brookside, and Rosemary interrupts her via the screen, and she's challenged, and she's decided to challenge Xia Brookside to a tag match, and he said, "You got Savannah Evans, who you have," and then Xia Brookside said, "I got the perfect partner in that matchup." And then the first class, the first class pen out segment with AJ Francis and KC Navarro. AJ Francis, he cracks me up, you know. So, anyways, I just love it when he'd be Top Dollar or AJ Francis. He knows how to be a heel. He plays it very perfectly too. I love AJ Francis. To me, he's funny as a heel. He's very entertaining as a heel. You know, it's like, everybody's booing AJ Francis, Casey Navarro. Excuse me, pardon me. So, anyways, they're running their mouths about El Paso until Chavo Guerrero Jr. came out and interrupted them and starts defending El Paso and talking smack to the first class. And then Frankie Kazarian comes out, gets into Chavo's face, makes fun of him, disrespects him. Then the Aztec Warriors, that's Octagon Jr. and Laredo Kid, came out. And he said, "How about this? You three against us three in a six-man tag." "Oh, this thing stinks in here, goodbye," and all that. And AJ Francis, Casey Navarro, and Frankie Kazarian walk away. And then Mike Santana went one-on-one with Mustafa Ali in a rematch from Sacrifice. And as the two men during the match, though, Mustafa Ali says he's had enough and walks out. I'm like, you got to be kidding me! Mike Santana wins the match by countout. And Gia Miller interviewed Ali. He says, "I'm done with Mike Santana. We're done. And I'm the one addiction he can't break." And then Gia Miller tried to go asking more questions. Tasha Steele says, "We're done." And he said, "Let's go." If I were Mike Santana, I would say, dude, we're not done. Because, Mustafa Ali's not a man. He's a coward. He hides behind the great hands. He hides behind Tasha Steeles. And he decided to walk away from a matchup instead of fighting me one-on-one. And yeah, you won the matchup, but you cheated to win the matchup. I want retribution. See what I did there? Oh, boy. Mustafa Ali and retribution. See what I did there? Oh, boy. I'm in trouble with that one. Yeah. So, basically, Mustafa Ali decided to become a coward. And you know what? Mustafa Ali, you suck. That's all I'm going to say. And then, here's one half of the punchable faces I was talking about. Ryan Nemeth decided to address the El Paso crowd about Sacrifice. My big brother! I'm like, he's got a face that you want to smack right off. I was like, if I want to smack 5 or 6 wrestlers across the face, Logan Paul, The Miz, MJF, and A-Town Down Blunder, as I call him, Grayson Waller and Austin Fury, a.k.a. Beavis and Butthead. And I'm going to add Ryan Nemeth to that list. My big brother! And all of a sudden, and he introduces Nick Nemeth. Nick Nemeth tries to explain himself, fans booing him out. And then Leon Slater interrupts the Nemeth and said, was very upset with what they did. So Ryan Nemeth decided to go after him, and he gets out of the way. He eludes Ryan Nemeth, hits him, and then he goes to brawl with Nick Nemeth. Nick Nemeth gets to him, and then both Nemeth brothers walked away from that situation. I think Leon Slater's not done. He needs to go team up with somebody. Stand up for his heroes, the Hardys. That's all there is to it. Then Knockouts Tag Team action. Xia Brookside teaming up with Lei Ying Lee. They'll go up against Rosemary and Savannah Evans. And it seems like Rosemary's running out of friends at this point because during the matchup, Rosemary was meant to go miss Xia Brookside while Savannah Evans holds her. And then all of a sudden, she ducked and hit Savannah Evans instead. Lei Ying Lee capitalized by grabbing Savannah Evans up on her shoulders, hits her with her finishing maneuver. 1, 2, 3. Lei Ying Lee and Xia Brookside win the tag match. Here's the crazy part. This is an international flavored matchup. And I'll tell you what, no, Rosemary, in real life, Courtney Rush, she's from Canada. Savannah Evans is from America. Lei Ying Lee's from China. Xia Brookside's from England. So the English-Chinese connection worked out. So won out against the Can-Am connection in the end there, female version of it. Then you got George Iceman, the personal concierge. And he brought up these 2 guys. And oh my gosh. I'm like, you got to be... You didn't get the good-looking dudes to do this for the girls. And he brought, these 2 guys. And one guy was a little flabby. He makes me look like a Chippendale, for goodness sake. They think they're trying this Chippendale rejects with the bow ties and up, presenting them with the cake, right? Ash and Heather by Elegance. They're gorgeous ladies, by the way. Ash and Heather by Elegance are. I like Heather by Elegance. Anyway, they both come out and they're about to talk and to celebrate, and everybody's booing them. And then the Meta Girls came out. Jakara Jackson, Last Legend, and they said, we're here, we're here to take what we want, and we want those TNA Knockouts tag team titles. But then you got Spitfire, who obviously has a case because they had their contractual obligated rematch. And they say, hey, we have a contracted rematch. We want those belts back. But then another team showing up from NXT. We're talking Tatum Paxley and Gigi Dolan. By the way, Gigi Dolan engaged to Zachary Wentz of the Rascals. But anyways, I still love Gigi Dolan. I love Gigi Dolan. She's gorgeous and cute. For a redhead, who goes the goth way, I think she's probably one of my favorite ladies. Gigi Dolan. I love Gigi Dolan. My hat's off to Zachary Wentz for having her. And she said, butter me up and call me a biscuit. TNA is the shiznit. And he's like, Zachary Wentz, what kind of butter we're talking here? I'm with Zachary on this one. Anyway, I love Gigi Dolan. Anyway, so they had their saying, and they want to plead their case, and said we've been underutilized, but we want to come here and do, no more. We want to come here and do and get those tag team titles, right? And then Ash by Elegance starts throwing her temper like a kid, and I don't want to have something, And all of a sudden she goes, "What do you want to do? Kiss my ass?" I went, "I'll be in line." That's what Gigi Dolan says. I said, "I'll be a volunteer for that." Anyways, all 4 teams started brawling, and then Ash by Elegance slaps Gigi Dolan. All 4 teams brawling. Security comes out to separate them, and here comes Santino. Let me figure this out. How about this? Next week, since you decided to slap Gigi Dolan, it'll be you two facing Gigi Dolan and Tatum Paxley. But Spitfire, you're banned from ringside. But then, and he's trying to tell Lash Legend, Lash Legend's like, "Oh, you're kind of bigger than I thought you were on TV." And then all of a sudden, right, I don't know what to do. And then Ariana Grace said, "Listen, you're my best friends, but I hate to do this to you, but you're banned from ringside next week." So, during the matchup. So, very smart. After Jackson and Legend dispatched 2 security guards and made Morello nervous. So, the Bennett girls will be banned also. Short matchup, Mance Warner versus Magno, and Mance Warner did win the matchup. By the way, even though Steph DeLander has a digital media title, she is not recognized by the company as a digital media champion. Steve Macklin addresses Eric Young and kind of explains why he won't side with Eric Young. And in the main event, Joe Hendry and Elijah versus the Systems, Brian Myers and Eddie Edwards. And the guitar-playing duo of Hendry and Elijah ended up winning the matchup. So, that will be all for today's episode of the show. Episode 2110 of Eric Lima Shenanigans 1977. Tomorrow we got the game of strategy, luck, knowledge, and daring, Bullseye. And I'll spin the information. Hopefully you don't get struck by lightning. Another thing, too, we also got SmackDown. So, we'll see what happens there. So, I will see you guys later. You guys have a wonderful, wonderful day. And until next episode comes rolling around, Mr. Announcer, take us home. That is all for today's episode of the show. This is Mr. Announcer speaking for Eric Lima Shenanigans of 1977. A Big Beefy E and door for Bob Saget production, and in association with a Raving Bull for 3000 Telepictures and Distribution. Thank you for watching another episode of Eric Lima Shenanigans of 1977. See you later on the next episode of the show. Goodbye for now.